high school sports fans. Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs everywhere, sifting through resumes, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. One call. Great candidates. Problem solved. One connection. The workforce you need. Express Employment Professionals.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Chaminade, St. Anthony's. They are lacrosse royalty, they are arch rivals, and their alumni bases include household names in the sport. Before Pat and Chris Cavanaugh won a national championship at Notre Dame, before Brennan O'Neill was a #1 pick in the PLL draft, before Liam Entenmann and Tommy Schreiber were known as two of the best players in the world, their legacies were forged in these uniforms. Round 1 went to Chaminade, their first win over St. Anthony's since 2021. Now Gary Merrill, Jacob Johnston, Danny Rooney, Gavin Lynch, John Balsamo, and James Gillis will look to place their stamp on one of the greatest lacrosse rivalries in the country, and a title is on the line. The NSCHSAA AAA Championship is on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and it starts right now.
It is Stewart Stadium, one of the premier lacrosse venues in the country. And on Saturday, two teams in the Division I circuit will clinch their spot in championship weekend. But today, it is Championship Thursday as Chaminade and St. Anthony's meet for the NSCHSAA AAA Championship. We welcome you into the Jared Beschel and Associates pregame show. Jared Beschel and Associates law firm specializes in all aspects of commercial and residential real estate transactions from New York City to Montauk. If you're looking to speak with a real estate attorney regarding your next real estate transaction, contact Jared Beschel at 516-490-1200 or email at jbeschel@beschellaw.com. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Brian Soper here from Stewart Stadium, where champions are crowned. It is, listen, you have the PLL plays here, right? Of course, Hofstra's plays here. You have the NCAA's coming up on Saturday, but today, the main stage, it is St. Anthony's, it is Chaminade, it is the latest chapter in one of the best rivalries in the country.
It has everything you want, right? The historic venue, you have rivalry, you have tradition. All right, you have a fired-up student sections on both sides, and let's not forget it. It's senior day as well, right? It's the last game for a lot of these guys, right? D'Agostino, Merrill, right? Looking to go out on top. It's going to be absolutely awesome.
St. Anthony's, they've won 5 straight titles. Chaminade looking for their first one since 2018 when Pat Cavanaugh led the way. There are so many storylines, Soap, for us to go after. But first, we have to start at that first meeting, right? Back at Cy Donnelly Field, Chaminade, a massive win for them in that game in the regular season, which helped set them up for the championship game. Here we take a look, Soap, at the tail of the tape. You see the records. Chaminade, 14-1. They're the number 3 ranked team in the country. St. Anthony's, they are number 9 at 12-4. 3 of those 4 losses were consecutive. The third to Chaminade. And you see the other numbers as well. But I think the most important numbers for either team, right, are the NSCHA titles. Chaminade with 18, St. Anthony's with 20.
Chaminade looking to get one closer, right? Chaminade 13 wins in a row. 4-game heater for St. Anthony's. Wins against Lawrenceville, Iona Prep, Darien, Don Bosco. Here we are today, right? Going to figure it out on the field. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Both fan bases and alumni are absolutely fired up.
And we mentioned before, right, that regular season contest at Cy Donnelly Field. It was an instant classic, Soap.
Yeah, Balsamo, face-off win by Ball, gets to the middle, 1-0 Flyers. You see here, right, nice feed to Pizzo, finishes it. You see Cutton going to come out of the scrum here, find Balsamo, low to low will go, future Cav, great feed by Cutton. You see Merrill here, a little step back, check down to Ruddy. Number 4 ties it at 4. Bramoff starts transition, turp to turp action. Harrigan finishes it. You see this little toe save coming up, but the heel picks it up, finishes. Unbelievable. You have Ball, right? He'll lead you to a win. Quinn wins, right? 11th goal, 11-7. McDonald, you kidding me with that goal? One of the best ones we saw all year. Cuts it to 11-10, and this last 6 seconds is ridiculous. Saved by Walsh. Johnston right over. Look at this left-handed feed by Rooney. Turnaround shot by Johnston. Game over. Flyers win. Streaks over. That's how you get 10,000 views on the YouTube.
And Gary Merrill, you see him there looking to avenge that loss, right? And it was the first time since 2021 that St. Anthony's had lost to Chaminade. And you know the competitor, the ultra competitor that Gary Merrill is, that has burned him. That's been a burn in the back of his brain since that loss at home.
You know, this is it. Senior, you know, all the memories you have from St. Anthony's on the football field, lacrosse field, this is it. This is your moment. Can it be Gary, the Gary show? But Weiserick says we're better when we're balanced. And let's see if they can get that balanced scoring today to take home the title.
Yeah, back in 2019, it was the Brennan O'Neill show. He scores 8 goals against Liam Entenmann to lead the Friars to victory. They don't need that from Merrill today. Weiserick said, we'll take 2 and 4 because that means likely that we're winning this game. You see the Friars there lined up. It was a bit of a circle the wagons moment after that loss to Chaminade. It was their 3rd straight loss, right? It started with the number 1 team in the country in Spalding, followed with Haverford, and then Chaminade by 1 goal. From that point, though, these Friars have been rolling. They are healthy now. They are the best version of themselves at the right time.
It's the best case scenario for them. They have 4 wins. They've had 12 days off to get healthy, and they're playing their best version of lacrosse. And you know, Chaminade's hot. They're going to need it, right? If they're going to tilt it in their way in this matchup.
And listen, a game this big, so we've got to highlight multiple players, right? It's not just the 2 guys. We are going to showcase 2 players from both offense and defense. First, though, we will do so with the visiting Friars of St. Anthony's. These are the 2 guys in the midfield who are going to have to do some damage against some really good poles for Chaminade.
Yeah, time to get Merrill here, right? Just a physical dodger. His ability to get to the goal, whether it's football, lacrosse, he's a goal scorer. 38 goals on the year, 51 touchdowns. Whether it's Dorrance Field or Keenan Memorial, that kid's going big places. Let's see if he can lead his team to a championship.
Yeah. So, and then on the other side.
Yeah, Jake Johnson, right? Righty, lefty, defense, offense, just an absolute warrior. Hopkins bound. Parker McDonald, future Tar Heel senior, long stick midi, great skills. Caught that alley-oop in the first one like Vince Carter. Unbelievable athlete. Ethan Bramoff, healthy, getting healthy, off to the races. His ability to take the ball away. He's a cheat code in transition, right? He's the Celsius, the Red Bull, the C4 energy drink of the Friars, right? Who you got today, right? You gonna fly or fry?
Neither McDonald or Bramoff 100% healthy at this point of the year, but doesn't matter when you've got these kind of guys. You see Merrill.
Yeah, watch the S dodge here. Gets to the center. Just an absolute beast getting to the front of the goal. kid scores goals, scores touchdowns. Jake Johnson, Hopkins bound. Is he righty? Is he lefty? I don't know. Is he offense, defense? The kid does it all. Jack Emmer, grandson, royalty, unbelievable player. Going to need him to step up. Watch this alley-oop coming. If you've seen a better goal, sidearm delivery there. Watch this alley-oop. If you've seen a better goal all year, text me. Right, unbelievable job. And Bramoff, are you kidding me? Off to the races. Absolute cheat code, can take the ball away, puts it on the ground. Again, he's that energy. He's that guy who sparks the Friars. Unbelievable. Head always up. Transition master. Merrill, Bramoff, McDonald, Johnston. They're going to have to carry the load today for the Friars.
So that's the story for St. Anthony's, the 5-time defending champions, trying to make it 6 in a row. For Chaminade, they knew the numbers. You didn't have to talk about it. They knew the numbers. They knew how many consecutive wins St. Anthony's had. They knew the last time they won the championship. It is a team that is together. They are unified. From the point of game number 2 of the season, they have not lost. They've gone on a 13-game tear. They've got attackmen who are back together. This is probably the best version of Chaminade since that championship team with Patty Cavanaugh.
The coaching staff loves this squad. They're almost sad that it's going to end win or lose. There's no egos on the team, but led by that big 4. Are you kidding me? 140 goals out of 208 from Balsamo, Gillis, Cutton, and Lynch. Name a better 4 in the country.
And we'll show you those impact players now for them. And we had to pick 2 of the 4.
Not easy. We had a little fight, me and you, back and forth.
But Gillis and Lynch. Lynch was a bit banged up in that first matchup. Gillis was an absolute beast. 5 goals in that opening win. Both will be instrumental should Chaminade win their first title since 2018.
Gillis is playing his best lacrosse, 40 goals on the year. He's hot, 6 versus Del Barton, 5 versus St. Anthony's, 2-2 in the Reeves Rock. And Gavin Lynch, elite goal scorer, 39 goals, 4 in the Reeves Rock. Had a 10-point game this year from the midfield and following his brother Will to Notre Dame.
We showed you the polls for St. Anthony's. You got some tough dudes on this side as well.
Yeah, don't mess with Lou, right? Syracuse is his last game in the white and red. Syracuse is going to play here, right? So D'Agostino going to join Billy Dwan and Gavin Fitzpatrick going to Hopkins. Just steady Eddie for the defense. Really good off-ball communicator. I thought he was great in the 3rd and 4th quarter in that first matchup. Yeah, James Gillis, right? He's a future Blue Devil. I think he's more like a Red Devil lately. Hot, hot, hot. Swin move to his left. Bang. 1 of 6. Oh, lefty? No, I'm righty too. Hammers it in the corner. Then he goes up top. Finishes this one. Kid's been on fire. Gavin Lynch. Can he be like his brother, right? The hero. 2021. Kid can score from everywhere. Man up, alleys, crease. Back to being healthy. Physical dodger. Lou D'Agostino, again, one last game. He'll relentless player, hard checker.
The Godfather.
Gets the ball on the ground. Everyone has to answer to him on the defense. Just an absolute warrior, hard checker. You got to bring your hard hat if he's guarding you. Fitzpatrick, just unbelievable range, lefty from Carl Place. Really good off ball and on ball. Picked off a bunch of passes in that 3rd quarter. D'Agostino and Fitzpatrick kind of split the load on Merrill the first game. Real interested to see how they match up today.
A lot of really intriguing individual matchups in this one as we get set to go here. Let's meet the starters for these teams first. The visitors on the scoreboard at St. Anthony's, and their attack line, they don't have the amount of time together, but they do now have most of a season. It's Rooney, Massaro, and Harrigan. We expect to see a lot of Charlie Cacciabato as well. Your first midfield of Merrill, Johnston, and Ruddy. We mentioned McDonald and Bramoff before. Michael Kelton and Chris Inzerillo have been really good this year. Kelton has been sidelined the last couple of weeks just to get ready for this game. And in the cage, there was a question, but there wasn't really a question, right? Because you have 2 really good goalies. But today, right, it's one on and one off. And today, Dennis Brady is on.
Yeah, Brady, a senior. Merrill, Ruddy, McDonald, Brady, go out, ride with your seniors. Dennis Brady's been real good on the year, 53%. Going to Lynn, 10 versus Don Bosco in a 7-5 win last game, 11 in the first matchup against Chaminade. I think he needs 16 today, Dill. He's got to get 16 if the Friars want to leave here and get on the bus victorious.
And there is St. Anthony's longtime head coach, Keith Weiserick, his 26th season, a 1986 graduate of St. Anthony's High School. How about a 354-80 overall record? His assistant coaches, J.M. Simpson is your defensive coordinator, and Doug Schreiber running the offense for the Friars. For Chaminade, it is Balsamo, Gillis, and Cutton, just as it was a year ago. They are all together again. You mentioned Lynch, Sean Connolly. We thought Harrison Voorhees would be in there. We received late word out with a groin injury, but there's a host of guys on that second midfield who could fill that role.
Connolly, Atwell, Ferraro Reich, Mark, you name it, they'll step up.
Gavin Duran at LSM. You mentioned Fitzpatrick D'Agostino. Peter Gerbasi, he's no stranger to big games against St. Anthony's, whether it's on the lacrosse field or the gridiron. And in the cage, he's wearing 44, and he's heading to Notre Dame. It is Kieran Walsh.
6'4" from Garden City, can still cover the top of the net when he goes low. He's what every D1 coach is looking for. Low stance, explosive, smooth, clean saves, can outlet it. You name it, he can do it. 12 saves in the first meeting, including 2 in the last 6 seconds. 4-4 is an absolute beast. Walsh, you find me a better one in the country in the junior class. I dare you.
And the head coach, of course, the venerable Jack Moran, 45th season, a 1970 graduate of Division High School. He's got about the double amount of wins as Weiserick, 634 in his career to 159 losses, and a really good assistant coaching staff as well.
Leghart, Mikey DeMeo running the offense, goalie who played here at Hofstra. Chris Clark working with the face-off guys. O'Connell, unbelievable addition to the staff. Chaminade is in great hands, not only with Coach Moran, but an excellent staff.
So we're just about ready for the opening face-off, but first, the all-important keys for both of these teams if they're able to be victorious.
The Mighty Quinn's got to be himself, right? Over 85% on the year. Keep doing what you're doing, kid. Got to shoot well, win defensive matchups. St. Anthony's, don't let the X define the script. Let's muck it up. Let's get possessions. Let's do it the dirty, greasy way. Clean clears. Don't give up on defense, right? Get those 50-50 GBs, right? Coach Moran said we want to play fast, but we don't want to run into trouble. That's what we did in the third quarter to keep that game close despite ball domination.
We are just about ready to go. It is St. Anthony's, and it is Chaminade. It's the NSCHSAA AAA Championship. The opening face-off when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs everywhere, sifting through resumes, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. One call, great candidates, problem solved. One connection, the workforce you need. Express Employment Professionals.
Today's NSCH SAA Championship game is sponsored in part by Catholic Health, by Jared Beschel and Associates Law Firm, by 1031 Asset Exchange Services, and by Express Employment Professionals.
Back here at Stewart Stadium, final prayer and anthem as both Chaminade and St. Anthony's getting ready to do battle. Of course, as always, a big storyline in this one, Soap, is the face-off X and who will be there and who might not be there. It has been a topic of conversation all week, and our Jared Veluzzi, our third member of our broadcast team, has got more on that from field level.
And the big story for St. Anthony's is that Robbie Johnson, the Penn State-bound junior, is suiting up today, and it looks like he's going to take the first couple face-offs. He's teaming up with Paul Lenigro and Mikey Riley, as on the opposite side for Chaminade. Quinn Ball has had a historic season. The Flyers have had some incredible Fogos in the past, like James Ball, Mac Rodriguez, and Will Lynch, but Coach Moran says none of them have won at the rate like Quinn Ball has. He's at 84%, as this face-off battle is bound to be special. Back up to you guys.
So, Soap, you heard it. Robbie Johnson has not taken a face-off since the third one against Culver in game number 1. But he will go out there and he'll give it a go. Willis Reed hey, the Knicks are in the postseason.
Yeah, let's go, right? Is he that spark, right? 5'7", 165, second-ranked face-off kid in the junior class, committed to Penn State. They got a big game coming up. All right, just, not easy to come off the bench, especially against a guy like Ball. But, hey, I knew it was a big game. No way 44 was not going to give it a go.
And in our conversation with Weiserick leading up to this game, we didn't expect, or we don't expect, Robbie Johnson to take 25 faceoffs. But he is going to take the first few. For over a decade, the Face-Off Academy, led by Pro Lacrosse's all-time face-off wins leader, Greg Gorenlian, has been at the forefront of teaching the game's best players. Since 2012, the Face-Off Academy has sent over 1,500 athletes to the college ranks. With weekly face-off training in 25 states, online training platforms, top-tier recruiting events, and a top-rated overnight camp, the Face-Off Academy is known throughout the sport as the gold standard in face-off instruction. Visit thefaceoffacademy.com and follow them on Instagram at thefaceoffacademy. Go forward. And you see the two guys we mentioned again. This is breaking news, right? So Mikey Riley will not take the first one. It'll be Robbie Johnson to do so. When he is healthy, excellent at the face-off X. Let's see how much of a neutralizer he could potentially be to Quinn Ball.
He's a great athlete, great stick. This is must-see TV. Johnson versus Ball, UPenn, Penn State, senior versus the junior. Let's get it on. Ball's just been an absolute weapon for Chaminade this year.
His numbers at nearly 84%, ridiculous. And the first one is a scrum. It is picked up by Gavin Lynch on the wing. And the Flyers are off and running. Balsamo off the bar.
Same spot he scored the first one against. Hits the bar. You see that quick NASCAR-type offense that Coach Moran really loves the Chaminade playing this year.
Cutton was open momentarily in front of the cage. And he will hand off now to Balsamo. And excuse me, 17, that was Connolly on the wing, but 10 is Lynch. Here's Balsamo, swings it to his left.
I think if you're St. Anthony's, you like that faceoff. It was really a scrap. It became a 50-50 ball. Good job by Johnson being physical against Ball.
Cutton from X.
You're going to hear that a lot.
He's got Kelton hung up. Circles back. 18 on the shot clock. Cutton a little hop, skip, a little inside roll, and the goal! Connor Cutton gets the party started for the Flyers.
Yeah, the senior, 5'8", going to Hopkins. You know, it seems like the strategy is let's not slide to him because he's a feeder known to be a guy who distributes the rock. Says, hey, you're not going to slide. I'm going to inside roll, bury the biscuit. First goal for the Flyers, 1-0.
Cutton is 26th of the year. Youngest of three, Sean and Kevin, both played at Yale.
Cutton had a goal and 2 assists in the first meeting, also had a goal and 2 assists the last game against Reed's Rock, playing some really good lacrosse.
And Robbie Johnson gets the second faceoff, and look at the reaction on the bench. Talk about a juice moment for the Friars.
That must be, you know, for that kid and the sideline, that's so uplifting. Make a 50-50 scrap and then win one.
Here's Dylan Harrigan. Again, it's all about the matchups. Who's got who?
Yeah, Liam Trainor's out there, the junior from Huntington. Seems like he's pushing out very hard on Rooney, who's been the quarterback type for St. Anthony's.
Getting downhill and firing it high. Gio Massaro.
Coach Weiserick said Massaro might be an X factor. The St. Bonnie, the big, strong finisher. Love this two-man action. Johnston steps away, run through a check, high and hard. You kidding me, Gio? Bam. Unbelievable start. Success at the face-off fast. Little two-man action. Bury the rock, face it off again.
Massaro has split time as that third attackman all year with Charlie Cacciabato. Big goal for the senior from center reach, his 11th. Ball wins the faceoff. Balsamo goes low to high, and he misses the mark.
You see that management. Riley took that faceoff. Obviously, Robbie's not going to take every one.
Connolly, save, rebound, is loose in front. Brady covers it up.
It's a story about a man named Brady. Big start by him, big save. Looking good in the yellow sleeves.
And now the Friars will look to clear.
Brody Rickert, Jr., Towson, really good in the clear game. I'd say him and Bramoff have been their best two in the clear.
One of the questions leading into this one was where would Merrill pop up, right? We've seen him obviously in the midfield, but also he's been coming out as an attackman as well.
So the double pole in the midfield, both Johnston and Merrill have gotten poles, right? Fitzpatrick on Johnston, D'Agostino on Merrill.
That was a physical matchup the first time, maybe too physical for Keith Weiserick's liking. And as we know from Merrill, Soap, he will invite it. He'll actually initiate that physicality. But that's not what they want from him today against D'Agostino. Round in the cage. Ball took a deflection, ground ball for the Friars. What a feed in front, and the bouncer by Johnston.
Have a start, Gio Massaro. Stick one, and then hit a backdoor cutter. Watch the backdoor cut here, head up Massaro. Johnston I mean, that kid just knows how to play lacrosse. One of the smartest, slickest players I've seen all year. Little back cut, bounced into the top corner. Great start for the Friars.
Not easy, right, for Johnson. He's got to get it on his backhand, turn back, and get it into the back of the net.
He makes lacrosse look easy. It's not, and he really makes it look like it's effortless.
Goal number 30 on the year for him. Face-off win for Chaminade.
Mike Meyerhofer with the ball. Another Townsend commit.
There's Balsamo. Inzerillo, the lefty on him. Balsamo pumps the brakes. Uses the net to his advantage.
It's a good matchup, right? Lefties like to play righties on that side.
Downhill, sidearm shot. That was Lynch.
Lynch, McDonald, that's a great matchup.
And now here's Cutton. Kelton on him.
Bramoff draws the Gillis matchup. Future ACC players.
Cutton surveys the situation, kicks it back out. 30 on the shot clock. Lynch. Lynch! I don't know the terminology for that shot.
It's a twista.
But it is a goal.
A twisted wrista. Right, it is the hockey playoffs. Just gets to this, an elite goal scorer. Doesn't matter. Whoop. He's going to Notre Dame. That looks like Jake Taylor. I mean, he's been watching Jake Taylor film, right? Unbelievable. Gets to his right hand. Well, who needs a left when you can stick it like that?
I mean, that was literally the same goal, right? Taylor scored.
Ridiculous. As a goalie, you're not ready for that. You're waiting for a switch of hands. Nope. Probably going about 90 cross-handed.
Lynch the third, or Gavin is the third Lynch to play for Moran. Will at Notre Dame. Jude just finished his freshman year at Holy Cross. That one off the bar by Connolly.
Connolly again's been an absolute nightmare off the wings. Nice job getting to the cage. Good save, good piece by Brady.
So it seems like right now it's going to be by committee for that Voorhees spot, right? We have Finn Pizzo on there. We saw Cooper Mendelson as well.
Yeah, Mendelson and Pizzo. Mendelson, a hoop player, he hit Pizzo like an out-of-bounds play in the first matchup. Those two obviously have some chemistry together.
Gillis downhill. Gillis saved by Brady.
Yeah, there's that right hand. Gillis has been using that right hand more lately. Nice save by Brady. Clean save, clean outlet. Give it to the cheat code in the clear, Ethan Bramoff.
And he'll get it to Johnston. And now the Friars will get their settled offense going. That was one thing that Moran mentioned to us that was a concern. The first matchup, one of the reasons why St. Anthony's was able to kind of mitigate Quinn Ball's dominance at the faceoff X, they got out in transition and they scored some goals in doing so. That shot by Billy Atkinson was wide.
Atkinson scored in that first matchup. Halfway through the year, Atkinson came back healthy. Brian commit to really shoot it from Lacrosse family. Sisters at Vanderbilt.
And there he is, Atkinson.
Yeah, he's got the Bekirs matchup. He's going to BU.
Bekirs eating him up. Atkinson, though, still with the ball. Massaro, he's got the hot hand right now. That pass off the mark, and here come the Flyers the other way.
It's what Fitz does. He's always around the ball. Got some numbers.
Trying to feed it to Connolly, to Lynch in front.
Kind of handcuffed him a bit. That was a tough one.
Gillis, though, comes away. Balsamo, the one more. The fake in front, and cutting the finish.
That's like chemistry class. These boys got chemistry. We got Gillis to Balsamo to Cutton. 75 goals last year combined, 101 and 25, 172 points. The unselfishness, the no ego lacrosse. It's also that play fast. Let's play fast. Let's do some early offense. tic-tac-toe. 2 juniors and a senior.
Cutton's second of this game. 27th, excuse me, of the season. Back to the face-off X. Poli Lenigro in there. Wins it cleanly. But then the stick check comes. And now it's a loose ball.
Yeah, Liam Trainer, nice job. Looks like St. A's going to throw a 3-headed monster at Quinn Ball.
And now Chaminade. Back on attack, but that's a ball that was airmailed. That was one of the things, too, that Moran mentioned, right? About making sure that we're strong and clean on the ball.
Yeah, play fast, but don't run into trouble. Make good passes. Value the rock.
Rickert, Harrigan trying to get top side. It wasn't there. Back out to Brody. And Merrill waiting his opportunity to come out of the box, and he will do so now. Here's Gary Merrill. What a career he's had in St. Anthony's Black, whether it is on the gridiron or the lacrosse field. Going to North Carolina to play both. His final game as a Friar. That was Ruddy.
They've had some really good chemistry lately. Not shocking, 2 seniors. He found Ruddy twice in that first matchup. Ruddy seems to be playing with a ton of confidence lately.
Harrigan!
Quick restart, whistle ready. Comes off the end line, the future Terp. Strong left-handed player. Whoop, nothing crazy there. Beats Durant, gets top side, unleashes a howitzer to the corner. He's fired up. He's a dual threat. He can play midi. He could play attack. His 25th goal on the year. He's been super hot. 4-3 versus Lawrenceville. 3-4 versus Iona. Don't let the Terp get hot.
Ball wins it backwards. Now Chaminade will go back on attack. Here's Balsamo. Inzerillo trying to get inside. Balsamo! No goal. Crease violation. We've got a great officiating crew as well. We didn't mention it before. Mike McCloskey, Mike Harold, Pete Casper. The 2 Mikes. How about 10 Final Fours among them?
Pete Casper was right there. No hesitation in the crease.
Low save by Lynch.
That's the thing about Walsh, right? You think 6'4", I'm going to go low. He's so good down low. He gobbles that up, controls it, makes a lot of feet saves. Nice job there. Really great ball movement by St. Anthony's.
Brody Shapiro having problems, but also there's a flag. We'll have our first man up opportunity.
That's scary. 48.7% on the EMO for Chaminade.
Lynch spins inside. And now with the ball going out of play, we'll have the announcement of our foul. So a 30-second hold against the Friars.
Specialty situations are so important. 48.7% this year for Chaminade on the EMO. Not shocking when you got dangerous shooters like Lynch and Balsamo.
There is Balsamo now. They work it to Cutton.
Yeah, Brendan Sim has been really good on the man up, left-hander. One of those young sophomores.
Gillis, the bouncer. Wide. Backup was there. 8 seconds left on the man up. Balsamo. Shooters are going to shoot, right? Lynch denied down low by Brady.
Nice job. Great read by Brady. Great anticipation. Lynch dropped the head of the stick, goes low to low. Brady read it all the way. Great save on the man down.
Rickert, what a feed! And Merrill. What a spot for him to shoot from. missed the net.
You see on the man down, Merrill, a little bit of attack for him. Coach Weiserick mentioned that you might see him down there a little bit.
There's Danny Rooney.
St. A's is not afraid to play fast, right? Speed on speed here to start the game.
Ruddy. He's got the short stick matchup.
Yeah, good Ferraro Wright going to Richmond.
30 is Sean Ronayne.
Richmond will be playing here on Saturday.
Merrill.
Such good feet, Lou. Football player, great athlete.
Also the best nickname of all of them here today. The godfather of the defense. And Walsh denies Johnston up high.
Clean save, quick outlet.
Good defense, though, by the Friars.
Play fast, don't run into trouble. And here he is, Bramoff.
Talking about trouble in transition. Bramoff. Harrigan!
We mentioned in the open, right? Bramoff, he's that Red Bull, he's the C4 energy drink, the last person you want to see scoop up a ball in transition. Great look off here. Nope, not the point. I'm going to the hot Terp, who buries it. Second goal for Harrigan, fired up. Transition working for St. A's. It starts on the other end, right? You do a little too much there, push it into some trouble, leads to an outlet.
4-3 for St. Anthony's. Minute 12 left in this first quarter. Ball goes forward, bounces it back to Connolly.
Got the third ground ball already for Connolly in this game.
He's got McDonald on him.
That's the thing that makes Ball so dangerous. He wins it to himself. He uses his wings. Coach Weiser said sometimes he wins it so fast you can't even get your wings in. Just a dynamic weapon on the faceoff X.
They've played a gauntlet of a schedule, St. Anthony's. So they've seen the best of the best. And Weiserick said Ball is the best from the faceoff X that they have seen. Chance here to hold for the last for Chaminade. As Cutton goes over his shoulder to check the scoreboard. Takes on Rickert. Cutton, no! Cutton, come on!
Don't sleep on 22, right? Balsamo, Gillis, people have been talking Lynch. Cutton's like, I'm the senior. I ain't going out like that. 3 goals for him. Little shimmy, shake. Oh, little backhand shovel. We've seen twisters. We've seen shovels. Every single thing is working right now offensively for the Chaminade. That's just pretty to watch. Draws the shorty. Unbelievable job. Thompson brothers did a little bit of that here in semifinals at Hofstra.
First quarter hat trick for the senior from St. James. And Gillis, the GB. Final seconds of quarter number 1. And it will be a man up start of the second quarter, which is huge for St. Anthony's because you avoid that face-off. And we'll have the call here at midfield. The 30-second push. But what a first quarter it was for Connor Cutton Soap.
Yeah, brother Sean, 2018 Player of the Year in the Catholic League. Connor says, watch me, big brother. I'm about to cement my own legacy. How about a hattie in the first quarter? We're off to a great start, tied at 4s.
You're watching the NSCHSAA Championship game right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. and greater lives here.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Chief Graphics specializes in custom graphics and signs, helping schools, businesses, and organizations bring their vision to life. Their one-stop shop provides an in-house design, fabrication, and installation services. From press box graphics, wraps, mesh field signage, tents, and backdrops, dimensional signs and letters, to senior recognition posters and donor recognition displays. Chief Graphics delivers custom solutions that make a statement. And making a statement for Chaminade is their goalie, Kieran Walsh. And for more on him, we'll send it down to Jared Veluzzi.
The Flyers netminder, of course, has a lot of similarities with Chaminade legend Liam Entenmann. He wears 44 and he's going to play at Notre Dame. But Walsh was actually trained by Entenmann himself to get to this point. I caught up with Walsh earlier in the week, and he said Liam noticed how their styles related. He has all the confidence in the world in him as their connection has truly grown over the years. And Chaminade is, of course, looking to win a championship today. And back over to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jared. Man up opportunity for St. Anthony's. They are 39% on the season.
And Massaro over the top. Well played. Great save by Walsh on cue.
Yeah, denying Johnston, and a big ground ball picked up as well.
6'4", doing splits. Are you kidding me?
Louis Daggs with the GB.
Great rotation by the Chaminade defense. They're looking for Massaro over the top.
Connolly, Balsamo, buries it.
Yeah, Sean Connolly's been an absolute beast to start this game. Two-way midi, very fast, unselfish. Coach Moran was saying, like, if you could chart hockey assists by this guy, they would light up the scoreboard. Balsamo, a little sneaky, right? Little great job by the future Cav. Look at this, great view, great job by the cameraman. Little backdoor look. Buries the rock. 37th goal for Balsamo.
Never mind the hockey assist. I want to know the miles run in a game like this by Sean Connolly.
It's just fitting, right? Boston U going the Terrier, right? Terriers like to run, I think.
And now ball, clean win. Quinn ball, the handoff. Balsamo, the one more. Force it into the teeth of the defense, and a crease violation will send it the other way.
Yeah, that was the 10th assist on the year for Connolly.
Inzerillo to Reichert. And look at the ride for Chaminade. Problems. Reichert somehow gets out of it. That was like you on the Southern State. Thought there was some traffic there, and you managed to
bob and weave. I had sandwiches. Right, tune in to halftime for a food review.
Fine folks at Kinfolk will have that all part of the 1031 Asset Exchange Services halftime show. So Ruddy to Massaro. Hot hand in the first quarter.
Really pushing out on Rooney, limiting his touches.
What a great facilitator Rooney has been as well.
Yeah, 1-4 versus Lawrenceville, 5-1 against Iona. Been playing lights out lately.
Another guy too, back to health. Was limited somewhat with a back injury. Ruddy tucks under. Ruddy!
Hey, how about Harrigan? 2 Gs, great skip look to find Ruddy. I just love Ruddy's game. Power dodge and a future Wolverine gets underneath against Fitzpatrick. Buries at 5. Look at his skip look. Vision. Boop. Right, you see. Nice little under move. Buries at 5 hole.
Yeah, Ruddy, he's a multi-tool kid, right? Also, he can get that radar gun going, right? Up to like 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, 2 goals versus Chaminade in the first game. downhill dodger. Really good off ball as well. Coach Connery's getting a really good one.
Yeah, how about on these two rosters, 43 Division I commits. Unbelievable numbers. And there is Ruddy, the senior from Greenlawn.
You know, it messes up your slide packages a little bit. I'm sure they practiced a lot, but when you're pushing off, pretty much trainer will be out of any slide packages. So now you're sliding with 5 guys, probably more of a near man principle.
Merrill D'Agostino, the knockdown. And then GB by Fitzpatrick. And a flag is thrown. I believe it's on Merrill. So Shapiro comes the other way. A free possession for the Flyers.
Yeah, D'Agostino with a great knockdown.
Christian Atwell comes out of the box. Saw him in Reegs Rock get a goal.
Yeah, from Malvern, been kind of the guy who just earned time throughout the year. Really quick athlete.
Here's Balsamo. Connolly, they're in no hurry here.
So good job by Lynch getting the ball against the shorty. Crowbar.
Yeah, Reichert got the better of him, but we will have a man-up opportunity for Chaminade. So a 30-second push. And that man-up unit back on for Chaminade. Cutton will get it started.
Last man down was a good stop by Brady on the low shot. Sometimes the goalie's the best man down defender. You're going to have to save a shot from the outside if you're going to limit the inside looks.
You mentioned the officials on the field. How about Joe Rezin-Pollock up in the booth as well?
One of the best, great player as well. Heard so many stories about him as a player.
Gillis to Balsamo. Lynch, he can shoot it from anywhere. So could number 3. Gillis, 5 in the regular season contest. And he gets his first. It's a man-up goal for the Flyers.
Been absolutely red hot. You cannot let him get his left hand free. Good job by Sim pushing the back pipe. You know, if you're Bramoff there, you want to approach to the left hand. Watch this approach. Gillis recognizes this. You're not going to approach to my left? Okay, I'm going to stick it. Nice shot off hip. Like I said, the future Blue Devil, he's been red hot. Little Buster Poindexter, hot, hot, hot lately for Gillis.
41st of the year for Gillis. Robbie Johnson, another face-off win. Here's Merrill. Hands off. And Johnston out of the box. Ruddy as well.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick's going to mark him. Bekiers gets the Ruddy matchup. Trainer still pushing up hard on Rooney at X.
Merrill nearly blew a tire. Gets a lot of D'Agostino. Johnston now uses a Massaro screen. Gets it back. The feed and Ruddy in the crease or high crease. The finish.
He's been that. He's been really good off ball. Watch this. This is where your slide packages get a little funky when you're only rotating 5. Watch two guys slide. Unbelievable job finding Ruddy. It's Massaro again. Unbelievable job by him, but a little 2-man action, a little slip by Massaro. Both Bekiers and Fitz slid to the ball, left Ruddy wide open. Unbelievable job by the Friars recognizing.
And Soap, if you're Weiserick, you've got to love the production you're getting from a Ruddy, from a Massaro in a game like this.
He you know, he said balance. We need that. Everyone's looking Merrill. No, it's about all of the guys, you know, being unpredictable on offense.
That scrum goes Chaminade's way. And now they're off and running and scoring for Connor Cutton. Goal number 4.
Is this any good? Hopefully everyone took the over. Unbelievable job, transition. His 4th goal of the game. Meyerhoff has been really good to start this game. Early slide. Bingo. Balsamo to Cutton, shaking his head.
And there's that hockey assist that you mentioned, right? It goes to Meyerhofer from Rockville Center, the Towson commit. He's the one who got the ground ball, gets it going, gets the clear to Balsamo to Cutton, goal number 4.
He's a guy the last few games, Reeds Rock, and especially more and more time on the field. Obviously super talented, but it's nice to see him stepping up, the junior.
Another face-off win for Ball. You think of some of the recent greats, right? His brother James, who wore that number 19 for Jimmy Regan. He was a face-off specialist. Will Lynch and Mack as well, right?
What about Gavin
Mack the
Creo?
knife. But there has not been a face-off guy in recent memory like Quinn Ball.
Yeah.
And look at Atwell.
We have seen some elite shooting on both sides. The junior from Malvern, who's earned his time. That's the best kind of time is when you earn it. Little submarine sling to the top corner. But watch this angle. You want to play goalie? Yeah, it ain't that easy. Submarine bar down, face it off.
And that's big for Chaminade. You can see the bench, right? Get excited. That's because Atwell is that emotional fire plug, tough kid. Used to be the short stick D midi. Now he's scoring goals in the championship game.
Just end-to-end action, just elite lacrosse. Defensively, I think both teams want to tighten it up a little bit. Slides have been a little bit long. We've had 2 guys sliding to the ball. I think at halftime, defensively, they're going to clean some things up.
Here's Gillis. Gillis!
They be rolling right now, the Flyers. Gillis is so smooth. It's kind of like a Brennan O'Neill type move, you know, where you're right-handed, you think you switch it back to your left at the last second, taking on a really good defender in Bramoff. You see Ball stays on, sets a little dummy screen there. But again, get on your tippy toes, sling it to the top. Coach Danowski, Coach Caputo, he was their #1 prize on September 1st.
His 42nd of the year. Now if you are Chaminade, you have an opportunity to put your foot down a little bit. 3-goal lead and the ball. Granted, we've seen this script before in game number 1 when in early portions of the 4th quarter after a Quinn Ball Thogol goal, it was 11-7, right? Go home, everybody. But the Friars came marching back. Here's Balsamo. Shields the defender. Feed by Connolly, knocked down by Rickert. Loose ball, of course, Bramoff. Just a vacuum with the ball off the carpet.
Yeah, Merrill's got a shorty. Weren't able to get the pole on a little late. Let's see if he tacks this.
Thought about it a second.
Yeah, they're going to shut him.
Here comes Ruddy downhill. Ruddy, saved! Big save up high.
Stands tall. That's a huge save. Clip that one. 430.
Diving opportunity towards the cage.
That would have been a huge goal, right? It would have cut it to 9-7. Walsh standing tall. Just covers the net, gives you nothing to shoot at.
Timeout is called by Chaminade. Say goodbye to sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, and being ghosted by candidates. No one likes to be ghosted. Express Employment Professionals connects you with qualified candidates who are ready to work right now. And Arena Graphics. Since 1989, Arena Graphics has been a leader in producing the finest custom screen printed and embroidered uniforms and apparel, specializing in serving schools, clubs, small businesses, or large corporations. Arena Graphics can help you promote your image on wearable apparel and other promotional products. Come visit our newly renovated showroom at 52 Main Street, right there in the heart of Port Washington, to view our extensive product line and meet with one of our friendly sales reps. Ask about setting up a team or business web store for easy ordering and user-friendly fundraising options. If you're in a bind, we offer 2-day custom t-shirt rush service as well. For more information, visit arenagraphicsny.com. Arena Graphics, your gear starts here. There's a look at the student section for Chaminade. All right, the growing fan support, right? It's fans, I think, still making their way into the entrances here at Stewart Stadium.
Just an unbelievable start, end-to-end action.
We started off with Cutton. 4 goals on for him. We spoke about the big 4. Well, the big 4 have delivered in a big way. Cutton with 4, Gillis with 2, Balsamo and Lynch with 1 apiece. And here is Cutton. Lynch, McDonald on him. Lynch blocked in front. Cutton gets the ball back. Lynch attacks. Lynch will not be denied.
He can score in so many different ways. I really like how he attacks in the off-ball situation, never stops working. Cutting with an assist in his office. Unbelievable job running through a check. Up to the score if that's going to be an assist or not, but bang. Unbelievable job, Gavin Lynch. Ryan Wellner is going to get in a really good one, a 95 grad of Chaminade. Going to welcome Lynch right off the plane.
Yeah, I think Lynch has earned the right to fly directly into South Bend. Right, he doesn't have to go to Chicago and drive from there.
His brother's the all-time ground ball leader in Notre Dame history. What a family.
Now some physicality and a flag as well. We'll get this foul or this penalty called by our officiating crew. It'll be McDonald's. So 1 minute slash against, I believe it was McDonald, or is it on Inzerillo?
That last goal by Lynch would be, unassisted. He got the ball from Cutton, but ran through a check. Just a tough, gritty goal by him.
So 4-goal lead for the Flyers, and their vaunted extra man unit looking to operate here.
Yeah, you got to stay real tight and compact and communicate. You see Patrick Heron out there, Navy commit junior, long lefty, plays man down. David McHugh as well, the junior.
Lynch, good deflection on the way in. Just on cue, you mentioned McHugh.
Yeah, got it, right, radar. Nice job by him. That was a sure goal on the backside.
Here's Cutton from his office. Balsamo, Lynch, shooters shoot, gets it back. And another flag against the Friars.
Good ground ball by Sim. He really balances this extra man group.
Nice save by Brady.
Brady's under fire right now.
So for 6 seconds at least, The Flyers will be up 2 men. We'll have our call of this penalty. So a 30-second hold. So if the Flyers opt to go quick, 6 seconds is an eternity in the sport of lacrosse.
See 59 out there, Frank Filiberto from Mount Sinai. And you got McDonald and Heron in the box. It's two poles that would usually play man down.
Gillis, 13 seconds left on the 1 man up. We're playing 6-on-5 right now. Bouncer, wide of the mark by Sim.
Good play by Filiberto. Great job by him being ready to play. Little pass down, pick down.
We are even now, and here comes Merrill out of the box. An opportunity for Merrill. Good feed and the finish. Rooney!
The lax IQ is just absolutely ridiculous here. 5'11" junior from Syosset, heading to Maryland as well. He's at his best off ball. Merrill draws a ton of attention there. Great front swing by Rooney. His 21st goal on the year. He says, "You're going to shut me off 6-on-6. I'm going to cut, go up the hash, bury the rock." It's a coach's kid. Right, Dad Tom, great coach. Syosset, Port Washington, St. Dom's. Brothers Tommy and Jack tore it up at St. Dominic's and in the college ranks. Huge goal for him and St. Anthony's.
And now Robbie Johnson, the face-off win, went a little bit too fast trying to get it to Rooney.
Yeah, Johnson and Ball, little exchanging pleasantries.
Love it. Love the chirping. Atwell comes this way. That's Fitzpatrick. And now Chaminade gets the clear.
Yeah, Cutton likes this matchup. Justice Durham didn't play in the first matchup. Senior D-mid going to Adelphi. They got their switch. They got McDonald out there.
And the second timeout of this first half is called by Chaminade. Dog Lacrosse Training, founded by lifelong friends and former college teammates, Brendan Homeyer and Quinton Germain. It's built for AA level players ready to train like the best. Experience intense positional work, fast-paced drills, and live reps that mirror a true college practice. Dog is where grit meets growth. Follow us on Instagram to stay locked in with all updates and announcements. Dog.
You're a dog, Dill.
JT Rizal Lighting has been the premier commercial lighting controls and project management distributors in New York metropolitan area for the past 40 years. We drive client success for building owners, construction managers, general and electrical contractors. JT Rizal Lighting in Plainview. There's some dogs in that huddle for Chaminade. The Flyers, the number 3 ranked team in the country by USA Lacrosse Magazine. And Gillis, I think there could be a good argument as to who the top dog is, and that's maybe what makes this Chaminade team so good, because they don't care about that. They all want to eat.
Coach Leghard told me before the game that this group has absolutely no egos, egoless team that wants to share the ball and just be great together as a unit.
So let's see what Chaminade has drawn up here inside the final minute of the first half.
Yeah, Balsamo on a shorty. Durham following a Johnny Valero, who was here last year, is at Adelphi.
He'll match feet with Balsamo. Balsamo, the look. The turnaround bouncer by Lynch is wide.
I love Lynch's game for a midfielder. He's really good at playing off ball. Can't lose that elite scorer in the middle like that if you're St. A's.
Final 30 seconds of the first half. Lynch up top to Cutton.
5 on the shot clock.
That was Connolly. The shot clock down to 3. And actually, they reset it here for the Flyers.
Yeah, perhaps a save by Brady. Been a lot that he's just gotten a little piece of.
And I think they'll discuss this one. They're saying no reset on the shot clock. So it should be 3, and it is now on that shot clock.
Great job by the officials. I think that's 100% the right call. Look for a dump in the corner.
Well, this is an officiating crew who's done the biggest games in college lacrosse.
18.4 is plenty of time, right? What, it's 6 seconds last time? They got 3 opportunities in that first game. 14.5, that's no problem.
So Balsamo just dunks it into the corner to set up Chaminade's ride with 14 seconds remaining. Can St. Anthony's get a buzzer beater here? Reichert maneuvers his way into a good clear, feeds the crease, trying to find Rooney. Last second shot, and Walsh will make that save. So what a first half for Chaminade. The Flyers in this championship contest, they've got a 10-7 lead. And their big 4 has stepped up in a really big way as well.
Both teams going to look to regroup at halftime, maybe talk a little bit defensive strategy, but 1 half left to decide this. Unbelievable atmosphere here at Hofstra.
We'll send it down to Jared Veluzzi, who's got Jack Moran with him, field level.
Coach, 10 goals offensively, very strong start. What'd you like on that side of the field?
I think that we're sharing the ball really well, and we're finding some matchups that work for us, and I'm sure they'll make some corrections at halftime, so we got to be able to, come out and recognize, they're going to change. We need to tweak a thing or two, but I think one of the things we need to do is tighten down at the other end. We're a little too aggressive, sliding to the ball, and they're getting a lot of backdoor layups. We got to clean that up.
Yeah, and after this type of start, what's the message to your guys here at the half here in this championship game?
Our message is the score is 0-0 every time you step on the field. So, we get to win each quarter. Don't worry about the total score. We got to win the third quarter, got to win the fourth quarter, and that's our goal.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Back up to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jared. And there's Jack Moran looking for another Catholic League championship. His Flyers are halfway there. And they've gone by committee. But of course, number 10 playing a big role.
He's just an absolute monster, has a nose for the goal, as many of these Flyers do. His last ride with the boys.
10-7, Chaminade at the break. More coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Today's NSCH SAA Championship game is sponsored in part by Chief Graphics, by Face Off Academy, by Arena Graphics, by Dog Lacrosse Training, by Kinfalk Corner Market, and by the Breakout Goaltending Group.
Hiring is a lonely business. Express links you with qualified candidates who are ready to work right now. One connection, the workforce you need. Express Employment Professionals.
Pole goal, yes! A man down pole goal as well. Busking, the skip somehow found its way through. BTB and a save.
At the buzzer, we had
The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase is the premier opportunity for the high school players from Long Island to be recognized for their lacrosse skills. For over a decade, this event has been widely recognized as the premier event for exposure before college coaches of all levels. Players showcase their abilities while competing to earn a spot to represent their county in the Long Island Showcase Nassau versus Suffolk Games. Hosted in collaboration with the high school lacrosse coaches of Nassau and Suffolk counties, the Long Island Lacrosse Showcase had over 90 college coaches attend various rounds of the showcase. Make sure to register today.
Two-man game.
Nice save up high. It is the 1031 Asset Exchange Services halftime show. One of the nation's leading 1031 qualified intermediaries. 1031 Asset Exchange Services provides expert-like kind exchange guidance for all of your real estate transactional needs. Give us a call at 877-313-0495 if you are thinking of selling an investment property and would like to defer paying taxes on the profit gains. Contact 1031 Asset Exchange Services to discuss and structure a tax-deferred investment opportunity. Well, we welcome you back. Dylan Butler, of course, Brian Soper as well, and Soap is ready.
I always wanted to work at a deli, a corner market, right? Here's my chance, kinfolk, right? Thanks for the smock.
So I'm going to do a little Sam Hunt for you right now,
Let's
right?
go.
I want to introduce you to my kinfolk, to my old friends. This is Kinfolk Corner Market. It is their food review. Listen, back by popular demand, right? Everywhere we go, Soap. We're in the bleachers. We're coming out of stadiums. Everyone's like, when is the food review? What do you got going on? And this, listen, we saved the best for last, right? We had this at Woodstick, and it's now back by popular demand. Kinfolk Corner Market. Listen, located at 19 Clinton Avenue. It is Rockville Center's new favorite deli. They serve up gourmet deli classics, right? The egg sandwiches. We had those at the Woodstick, to specialty crafted sandwich creations, and build your own salads as well. Come taste the difference at Kinfolk Corner Market, where food, family, and community come together.
Summer's right around the corner. Nothing better than picking up a bunch of Sammys, putting them in the cooler, heading down to the beach, right? Kinfolk's your spot for that. Great location, great people, great food.
All right, so without further adu, right, we've got two new offerings here today. I've got the My Teresa, which is grilled marinated chicken, prosciutto, fresh mozzarella, sun-dried peppers, some arugula, right? We got to be a little bit healthy, right? Let's get the arugula popped in there. And balsamic on semolina. And yours is No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn, right? It's an anagram, right? Gillis is tearing it up out there, right? Anagram, Brooklyn, Lynbrook backwards, right? So we're bringing Brooklyn in the house, right? I actually have a drunken parm as well. I had that at the Woodstick. I've been craving it, right? That's for the after game special.
So your Brooklyn is fried meatballs, sweet and sour peppers, and you got some arugula in there as well.
Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Right, forget about it, right? Brooklyn in the house, right? You would be an absolute Dumbo, right, to not go to Kinfolk and get the Brooklyn. Unbelievable fried meatball. You kidding me? Right, with the peppers, with the arugula, hits the spot here at Stewart Stadium.
Yeah, My Teresa, outstanding, right? You got the marinated chicken.
My Teresa.
That's close. That's close.
All right.
You get the saltiness of the prosciutto.
Yeah, I got to go.
Peppers.
I got to go a little drunken parm, too.
Oh, he's bringing the drunken parm, too. It's a 2-for-1 special. Look at Soap.
Just like I remember it.
So, again, right, we already know the answer. We know what Hungy would say. What? You bring it.
It passes the test, baby, right? Thumbs up, Brooklyn in the house.
Double thumbs up for his two sandwiches. So, once again, it's Kinfolk Corner Market, 19 Clinton Avenue, Rockville Center, new favorite deli. Again, come taste the difference at Kinfolk Corner Market.
He's a coach, right? Tim O'Hagan, he's a coach. Coach hoops at, Malloy. Coach hoops at Kellenberg, right? Go support him. He's a coach. He loves it. Food's great. Got to go hit him up. Kick in the door. Brooklyn's in the house.
We'll be back with more here on the 1031 Asset Exchange Services halftime show on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Welcome back to Stewart Stadium. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper here.
Full. That was
feeling good?
Yeah, man. That was unbelievable.
Thanks again to the fine folks at Kinfolk for what they have delivered here. And what a first half Chaminade has delivered, right? Like Kinfolk, it's hard to pick just one flyer, right? So many different guys getting involved in the offensive explosion that was the first half.
Yeah, they went on a four-goal run there. That attack is like a family. Balsamo, Cutton, Gillis can probably finish each other's sentences. Lynch added to that. That four-headed monster really, as advertised, had a great half for Chaminade. I think both teams looking in the locker room to tidy things up on defense. We have 17 total goals in one half of Lacrosse. That's a defensive coordinator's nightmare.
Let's take a look at some of those first half stats. And as you can see here, right, that's a lot of shots as well.
Yeah, Chaminade, Brady's been under fire. The face-off X, you're keeping it respectable if you're St. Anthony's. 4 saves apiece, Brady and Walsh. 1 for 3 on the man up, but a lot of shots generated. If you're St. Anthony's, you want to stay out of that box. Been pretty clean, 4-3 with the turnovers. That one turnover in transition hurt Chaminade as St. Anthony's got out and run. St. Anthony's going to look to maximize their possessions in the second half.
So Chaminade, the 3-goal lead. And what a first half it was. Also for their goalie, right? Kieran Walsh has come up in a big way for them.
Just love his anticipation, his timing is just so good for a junior in high school. Notre Dame's had some really good goalies from Long Island, like Liam Entenman we've mentioned, Scotty Rogers. He's going to be great down there. Unbelievable save. You see how he he covers the net so well. It looks like he's going down to his knees, but he's 6'4", right? He's still probably 6 foot tall there, covering most of the net. Ruddy thought he had one, but the big fishnet stick gobbles it up.
It might have been the best of his 4 saves in the first half for Kieran Walsh. We mentioned before, right? 6 ties, 4 lead changes, including that big 4-0 run there for Chaminade, which went from 6-6 to 10-6.
We had that, in the first game. They sprinted out. The Ball's goal led to an 11-7 lead, and then the last 3 by St. Anthony's. I look for St. Anthony's to hang in there and look to make a real hard push in the second half.
And we'll get some of that St. Anthony's story when we return here. You're watching the NSCHSAA Championship game. It's all right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand. From friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches, our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a SPORTSCAST today by contacting Varsity Media. Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here at Stewart Stadium, it is halftime of the NSCHSAA AAA Championship game, and it is Chaminade with a 10-7 lead. We heard from Flyers head coach Jack Moran heading into halftime. Let's see what adjustments Keith Weiserick has planned. For more on that, let's send it down to Jared Veluzzi.
After speaking with Coach Weiserick at the half, he said there's no major adjustments to be made. He liked how his squad was playing. He just says they have to play a little bit smarter. They're looking to clean up some of the simple defensive mistakes that they made in the first half. And his overall message to the group, head up, we're competing. It's only a 3-goal game, so a lot of life from the St. Anthony's sideline heading into half number 2. Back up to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jared. So St. Anthony's, they are no strangers to coming back in games, and if there's one thing that we know about Keith Weiserick's team, it's that they will go down fighting, right? This is a gritty group. That's kind of their identity this year. It's about grit and talent, maybe not the depth that they've had in previous years.
Yeah, Weiserick said we're going to come in here loose as a goose, right? We're better when we're balanced. I just think defensively got to tighten some things up, shorten those slides, give Brady more of an opportunity to see the rock. But this is it, one half for the championship. I like what Weiserick said. He's like, I love this game, but I kind of hate the championship aspect of it, just because, you know, lose here either side, it's as if, you know, you had a bad season. But Chaminade, definitely not a bad season. And St. A's, you take down Bosco, Malvern Prep, Culver, Seton Hall Prep. Are you kidding me? Right? You lose here, win or lose, you had a tremendous season.
And so usually when we're in this kind of situation, we talk about the bracket and how you got here. Well, there is none.
Yeah.
These are the two teams that are in the AAA, and that's the two teams battling for this title. For over a decade, the Face-Off Academy, led by Pro Lacrosse's all-time face-off wins leader, Greg Gurenlian, has been at the forefront of teaching the game's best players. Since 2012, the Face-Off Academy has sent over 1,500 athletes to the college ranks, with weekly face-off training in 25 states, online training platforms, top-tier recruiting events, and a top-rated overnight camp. The Face-Off Academy is known throughout the sport as the gold standard in face-off instruction. Visit thefaceoffacademy.com and follow them on Instagram at the Face-Off Academy. Go forward.
Yeah, Ball wins that one. We got Jack Cascading coming back in town at Hofstra on Saturday. Going to try to dominate the X. Long Island's had some pretty good ones.
At Cal Gerard, right, at former Manhasset great.
Your favorite, Angelo Petrakis. How about Melkonian last year for Southside?
And how about the change in net as well? So Brady out and Dylan Rappaport in. Makes the first save for the lefty.
Yeah, they're built different. Junior 6'2", really good and tight. You see it there. Going to Loyola. Coach Toomey's going to recruit you. You know you're pretty good in the net. Both guys replaced Sean Ford this year, who's at Utah. Not easy to do. Let's see if the junior can lead them to victory.
Interesting, too, because these Flyers didn't see Rappaport in game one, right? Lefty, different look. So we'll see what kind of an impact that will make in this one.
Just pushing buttons, trying to find the right combination. Perhaps a combination of Robbie Johnson and Rappaport sparks them.
Good recovery defense there by the Flyers on that shot by Harrigan.
Yeah, good job, Ryan Battaglia, the junior, Floral Park, Sacred Heart.
Rooney, low and wide.
You know, Battaglia, right, his brother Chris, his biggest fan. He lost his brother in January 2024, Kellenberg football and Lax player. Chris is watching, rooting you on, my man.
20 on the shot clock. First possession of the third quarter for St. Anthony's. A look to the crease, and Massaro picks up where he left off in the first half.
Off-ball movement. Hard to guard when you keep moving. I think it's Harrigan who finds here a little two-man slip action. Great look-off pass, run through a check, bury it down low. Senior Gio Massaro saving his best for last.
For the Bonnies commit, goal number 12 on the year.
They need to replace a coach. They need the new coach at St. Bonnie's, right? Gio, right? Get some tape, right? The kid's hunted. He wants to start day one.
10-8. Ball. Another face-off win. At this point, he can be one of the instructors at the Face-Off Academy.
That's what makes it hard to really come back. You're going to have to chip away. The idea of getting 3 or 4 goals right away on a run against Chaminade is impossible. It's going to come down to saves, stops, and GBs.
And trying to manage Chaminade's big four. Keith Weiserick said they are just intuitive at this point, especially the 3 attackmen. Second year, all playing together. Here is Cutton. Oh, Atwell. That would have got the Flyer faithful going.
Just a heady play by Atwell. They draw a slide. Durham helps out. He shades to the far pipe, gets a good angle, inside rolls. Didn't miss by much.
Here comes Gillis. Cuts it back the other way. Gillis! Side netting.
Good job by Bramoff, being physical at the 5x5. Enough pressure to allow Gillis to shoot that wide.
And Rappaport trying to get it to Durham. Look out. Durham is super athletic, which helps when there's a drop ball. But look at the physicality brought the other way by Lynch. They've got to still get the ball in.
Oh, good job.
Flag on the play.
Durham, one thing he won't have to change his colors, right? Going to wear the...
And another flag as well.
Black and yellow for the Panthers.
Here's Merrill.
That's a little thing, right? Jacob Johnston, right? Getting open and catching that tough ball from Durham. That's ridiculous.
Ruddy with 2 flags down. One will be offside on Chaminade. They're defending with 7. Johnston to Harrigan. Feed to the crease. Massaro!
G to the I to the O. Just can't guard them, right? You turn your head. A lot of ball watching by the Flyers. Gio's feasting like us at halftime. Little look, again, another feed, a little quick lever feed by Harrigan. Finds Massaro. Great hard cut down the pipe. Just cut hard, right? Move off ball. Just a lost art. Massaro, he's got it down.
Forget Boomer and Gio. It's
Dylan
and Gio.
Oh, great.
Here's Rooney.
All the Momo is the Fryer way right now.
And look at this scrap for the ground ball.
Yeah, 1-9 comes out with it.
Of course he does. He leads the way with that number. Not just on the field, but those 6:30 a.m. workouts.
Yeah, only he can say I'm the only guy in Chaminade history 4-time varsity player.
They had to change the rules for him. It's like eating meat on Friday during Lent. You got special dispensation.
Yeah, Will Chamberlain, we needed 3 seconds. You can't stand in the lane.
Here's Balsamo off the Gillis screen. Lynch up top. He's got McDonald on him. Lynch, BTB.
Love the creativity. It's a huge spot for Rappaport. You know, you don't know if it was planned or not, or if it's a halftime decision, but it's his show right now, the future Greyhound.
Cutting to Balsamo. It certainly wasn't communicated to us leading up to this game. Balsamo, what a great stick check from Inzerillo. The trail check.
Yeah, Inzerillo Sr. going to Sacred Heart. Just a hard checker. 6 caused turnovers on the year. Pios are getting a good one.
Inside 20 seconds on this shot clock. Sim. Filling that spot of Harrison Voorhees. Here's Cutton. Cutton denied up high by Rappaport.
Yeah, little different, right? Little different having a 6'2" kid in there.
And there's Bramoff the other way.
Love how Rappaport stayed on the pipe. Didn't give anything up.
Now a short stick, no. Merrill!
There it is. It took 2.5 quarters. He's fired up. Saved by the junior. Merrill gets the ball in a little early offense here. Takes on Lou. Bang. Top corner. Right-handed rocket. The St. Anthony's Alpha buries the ball. First kid out here in the warm-up shooting the rock. Bingo. Unbelievable start in this third quarter. Tied up St. Anthony's.
39th goal of the year. And for the 7th time today, we are tied.
Yeah, Moran said the one thing we can't have is let Merrill go off. He didn't go off, but that goal almost feels like it's worth 3 points with the amount of juice that's now in the stands.
And back to Cutton now. Job well done by Meyerhofer.
Yeah, Chaminade has 31 shots to 18 from St. Anthony's, but it's tied up, baby.
Balsamo with Inzerillo on him. Spins to the inside. Balsamo goes high, and Rappaport the save.
Yeah, 20's feeling it in there. Believe he's a Rockville Center kid. As a youngster, made a lot of the rising games in Nassau. No stranger, plays high levels, summer lax. Now he's played a ton this year, right? They've split games. They've played on and off.
That's the thing. They've gone 1 game on and 1 game off. So in the schedule that St. Anthony's plays, you're still playing high-level competition, even if you're on the other game. But he hasn't played the Flyers. First look here. Merrill, the feed. Off the bar.
You might have to put some handcuffs on Massaro to try to guard him today. His off-ball movement's been ridiculous. I think a pipe stopped that one from going in.
And it did. Massaro's got 3 and 2 on the day.
Chaminade needs to have a head on a swivel.
We're coming the other way. That's Liam Traynor. Traynor still on the ball.
You know, it's about pushing the right buttons, right?
Look at Brody Shapiro. Shapiro goes high.
Yeah, Weiserich, right? You don't have 354 wins and 14 CHSAA titles if you don't know how to push the buttons. Love this Rappaport insert second half.
Gillis. And if there was a time to put him in, it would have to be at halftime, right? Because you don't want to send the message to Brady like he did something wrong. He didn't. He earned the start. He played well. But you want to switch things up. You bring in the lefty out of the bullpen. Here's Lynch. Pumps the brakes, goes back to his left. Lynch. Kelton.
Future future Black Knight of Army.
Kelton has not played in 2 weeks. It was all to be ready for these 48 minutes.
Yeah, they've been off since the 3rd.
Here's Balsamo with 7. The feed, Lynch, BTB. It's not there. It'll be St. Anthony's ball. Shot clock was to 1 anyway.
There's just something about making saves, Dill, that just jacks up a goalie. You Superman into the end line. The sidelines fired up. Great defensive stand. McDonald, Bramoff, Kelton slid to collide.
There's Ruddy.
I think the next goal is absolutely huge. If St. Anthony's gets it here, this place is going to explode.
Yeah, on this sideline, with Chaminade being the home team, it is the Flyers faithful. On the other side, it's a blackout. Johnston. Slide comes his way, tucks out of that.
Still pushing out on X and Rooney, making them swing the ball, not let it go through X.
Merrill twirls his stick, looks for options. There's the feed, low shot. I think Walsh got a piece of that Ruddy opportunity.
His anticipation is so good. He sees low stick, he goes down low. He makes more feet saves than I've ever seen.
Rooney on the restart. 60 on the shot clock.
Looks like they maybe jumped in a little bit of a zone look. Yeah, Chaminade went zone off the end line. The chess match is on.
Yeah.
Got to rotate, got to find your shooters.
There's Rooney.
Harrigan's been really good skipping the ball, getting into seams.
And in case you're unsure on when Gary Merrill gets the ball, you'll hear it from the Flyer faithful. Harrigan to X to Rooney. 20 on the shot clock. Rooney goes down. Johnston, step down shot. Stung just wide by Massaro.
Yeah, good job by St. Anthony's, really moving the ball, getting into the seams. You see Chaminade passing guys in the zone. Nice quick sub by Chaminade, getting a fresh D-mid out there.
Harrigan! And St. Anthony's takes the lead, 11-10.
Great job by him. He's been really sneaky getting into the seams. Watch him here. He carries into a seam, gets that stick up field. Stick has eyes, goes low, beats Walsh 5-hole, his 3rd of the game. 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points. Coach Tillman, I hope you're watching. Your junior recruit having a day.
And for the first time in a while, it is St. Anthony's the lead. Look at the GB, Parker McDonald. McDonald looking for the pole goal.
It is all going the way of the Friars right now.
And now you've got shot clock on your side. Johnston with Ruddy coming out of the box.
Trabasi, Lehigh out there. Again, you want to maybe stay to your matchups.
Johnston just wide of the far post. 6 different Friars, Soap, have scored in this one.
Balance, that's what Weiserick wanted. Absolute dominating 3rd quarter by St. Anthony's.
Rooney circles the cage. The backup was there. 61 seconds left, quarter number 3.
You just see the way that every guy in offense is just bouncing around. They want the ball.
It is Merrill. It's the Godfather on him, D'Agostino. Here's Harrigan up top. Merrill, public enemy number 1 for multiple seasons.
Watch your men. Head on a swivel. Don't get back cut.
9 on the shot clock.
There it is.
Feed to the crease, and Johnston, the finish.
Off-ball movement. 3 goals, 4 assists, matching his total against Iona. 89's been special. It's late in the shot clock, right? You got to watch your men. Back cut by Johnston. That's going to look good in Hopkins colors. As smart as you can get as a lacrosse player, Jacob Johnson late in the clock, dive to the pipe. Harrigan finds him. 12-10 St. Anthony's.
That's not Jake from State Farm. That's Jake from Melville. 2-1 on the day, 31 goals on the season. And what a third quarter this has been. Robbie Johnson. Johnson, the Paul goal!
That's Lenegro.
Paulie! Lenegro!
They don't want the third quarter to end. Let's just keep it rolling, right? St. Anthony's wins a face-off. Keep it myself. Look at this. Boop, under the bar. High bounces will go. Hey, Paulie, how you feeling?
Yeah, apologies to Lenegro. I saw the 4 darting down the field, but it was the junior from Wading River. What a time to get goal number 1 on the season. And what a huge third quarter for the Friars. Ball, the stick check. These Friars are flying. Balsamo, maybe one more chance here. The other way, momentum goes to the Flyers, and it's Quinn Ball leading the way.
His 11th goal on the year. I was just about to say they got shut out in the third quarter. Not so fast, Soap. Gillis finds Ball, buries the rock. He says, what you could do from the face-off X, I could do better. Off-ball cut, buries the ball. Hasn't been easy this third quarter to beat Rappaport. Buckle up, baby.
And that's what leaders do, right? So when things are looking bleak, you come up with a big moment.
Yeah, Weiserick said he's improved so much as a lacrosse player.
Another Fogo goal? No, says Walsh. That was, in fact, Johnson.
Whoa.
Ooh, Rappaport's got to come up with a save.
This is getting silly now.
What a third quarter for the Friars. They entered it with a deficit, and they go into the fourth quarter with a lead. And Gary Merrill playing a big role.
Yeah, Merrill gets it going. Get to your right hand. Gary the GOAT. Kid knows how to score goals. 7-1 quarter for St. Anthony's. They're feeling it. Seniors lead the way.
Fourth quarter next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Today's NSCH SAA Championship game is sponsored in part by Catholic Health, by Jared Beschel and Associates Law Firm, by 1031 Asset Exchange Services, and by Express Employment Professionals.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Hiring is a lonely business. Express links you with qualified candidates who are ready to work right now. One connection, the workforce you need. Express Employment Professionals.
Chief Graphics specializes in custom graphics and signs, helping schools, businesses, and organizations bring their vision to life with in-house design, fabrication, and installation services, making them a one-stop shop for all graphic needs. From retail signage, wall and floor wraps, vehicle graphics, wayfinding signage, Chief Graphics delivers custom solutions that make an impact. And for more on the impact being felt in this one, we'll send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, to Jared Veluzzi.
in these type of championship games, it's always guys who fly under the radar that make some big plays. And for St. Anthony's, it's been Gio Massaro, a guy that Coach Weisrick mentioned earlier in the week, and he said he could have a big-time game as he has 3 goals here today. The senior has been phenomenal for the Friars. Weisrick praised his ability to work well away from the ball, and he's shown that he could be a prolific goal scorer. And for Chaminade, Coach Moran said, look out for Sean Connolly, and the two-way midi has been outstanding for the Flyers. He's done a lot of the little plays, and Moran said Connolly might just have about 25 hockey assists on the year. Look out for both these guys the rest of the way. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Jared. And yeah, will it be an unsung hero today? There are multiple candidates for both teams.
Massaro gets my vote so far. What a third quarter by the Friars.
He has spent most of this season, so rotating with Charlie Cacciabato.
We were getting in the elevator today. We're like, they still have really the third attackman spot. We're trying to figure it out. Well, Gio making a case to be an MVP today.
As a senior as well. Lefty rip, it went off the bar, and also Rappaport got a piece.
He's just on it, right? And whether he got a piece of that or it hit the bar, his hands were flying to the ball.
And so you know it well, right? You bring in a lefty, it's different.
Yeah, 15-8. St. Anthony's outshot Chaminade on that third quarter, 7-1 on the scoreboard. The next goal is huge.
And apologies there, Rappaport, the righty. Regardless, though, it is a different look.
For sure. He's taller, plays different styles. That's what makes goaltending so great. Doesn't matter, all different sizes and shapes.
Here's Rooney from X. Ooh, coming out of the box here. That was Ruddy.
Yeah, Johnson's got the shorty now.
And here he comes. Jacob Johnston. Johnston, the bouncer, and Walsh makes the save.
Yeah, Walsh is going to have to stand on his head the rest of this game.
But then an errant clearance. Ball back to St. Anthony's.
Yeah, good save. I like that. You know, give Walsh shots he can see. Give him from the angle. Chaminade defense hasn't really helped Walsh out in that third quarter. A lot of shots on the doorstep and from really good angles.
And so it's interesting here in this fourth quarter. This is a spot that St. Anthony's and Chaminade in this rivalry, they've not been in a number of years. When's the last time you could say St. Anthony's entered a game in the championship as the underdog?
Zone look by Chaminade.
So pressure on Chaminade after that first win. Merrill fires wide, and Weisrick kind of thought, which is, it's hard to say in a championship game, but felt like his guys could just be loose as a goose, right? Just play free and calm and no pressure.
I think that's already a win so far if you're St. Anthony's, right? Chaminade twice in the second half has shown zone, right? To me, that says we're having trouble guarding you.
Here's Connolly. It was who Moran identified as the potential unsung hero in this game.
Both coaches definitely have the pulse of their team. The guys that they all mentioned are stepping up huge.
All right. Potential hidden ball there. Balsamo, though, on it. Inzarilla has had this matchup all game. Balsamo, a pedestrian 1 and 2 so far.
He's been really good at that lefty on the righty. Makes it hard for Balsamo to get to the spots he really likes.
Lynch! Oh, that's one he wants back.
Yeah, again, he's super good off ball. He's a nightmare to guard in the crease because you don't want to slide from him. Good find by Cutton.
Gillis. In the first game, Lynch was banged up, really could barely move. And Weisrick was worried a little bit that Lynch could be that X factor, a healthy Lynch in this game.
Yeah, Gillis with a shot there. He kind of took over in the third and fourth quarter for Chaminade in the first matchup. He's going to have to really be good here down the stretch, get some tough goals against Bramoff.
Lynch on McDonald, tries to go high, and Rappaport again.
Denied, right? 6-2. Fills up the net. You know, good defense, right? Limit the angle.
Johnston. And that's how things are going right now for St. Anthony's, right? An errant ball in the midfield. Great job by Harrigan to hack at it, get it back to Johnston, and we reset with Merrill. Merrill!
That's his 40th on the year. Physical Dodger had 1 and 2 against Chaminade in the first matchup. Moran can't let this kid go off. Well, that's 2 goals in the second half. Good job. Ruddy McDonald there sets a little high screen, gives him enough room to bury the rock.
And do you see the difference in this game to the first game? What did Merrill do? He ran away from D'Agostino instead of running into him. The first match was all about the physicality with 2 kind of Rams butting heads.
Yeah, that's we mentioned this. We talk about this stuff all the time. I really want to see Merrill downhill more using his speed. Love that. And he has a really good job where he kind of feels contact and can fade away with his hands, and then he lets it fly.
Flag on the play. What an opportunity now for St. Anthony's. A 3-goal lead, a free possession after a Chaminade turnover in midfield. And here is Merrill.
This is best case scenario, right? You have a flag down, you got 50 on the clock, free possession, 3-goal lead.
It's now Ruddy on the short stick matchup. That said, Bakirs is pretty good. Low shot wide, and we'll have a look at this penalty here. So a 32nd man up for St. Anthony's.
St. Anthony's been 39% this year on the EMO. It's a 32nd. I would say be smart here. If you don't get a good look in 30, possess it, and bleed this clock a little bit with a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, that's maybe the most important part of this man up, right? It's not that you have an extra man; it's that you have 60 seconds to play with.
Yeah, Cacciobato's out there.
This is his specialty, this man-up unit. Haven't seen a lot of him because Massaro has been cooking.
Shutting off Merrill with Connolly up top. So essentially it's a 5-on-4.
Trying to climb the ladder. That shot off the mark, but again, another errant pass. I was going to say a failed clearance, but Meyerhofer gets it.
Yeah, that was Ronayne with the left-handed shot. Huge stop by Walsh.
Ronayne tries to get rid of it, gets it to Gillis. Now some numbers. Connolly. He somehow got a second chance at that shot.
Smart decision. He pulled it out. Had an opportunity. The senior would have loved to bury one there.
Now here is Balsamo.
Must score possession if you're Chaminade. Got to figure out the Rappaport riddle.
Balsamo wide, going high of this near post.
Yeah, Inzerillo, he saved his best for last. This is his best game so far this year. Got to keep it going for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, throughout the season, we've done a handful of games for St. Anthony's. I think he's been really good. Maybe under the radar a little bit as Atwell off the bar. Second opportunity, and the finish by Connolly.
Jack Moran, he said it was Connolly. He could be the unsung guy in this game. Atwell releases an absolute hammer. Hits the joint at the top, flies to Connolly. Future BU Terrier, like a dog on a bone. Right, finds it, sticks it in the top corner. You see Rappaport, exploded low. Connolly went upstairs. 13th goal on the year for Sean Connolly.
And Ball wins the face-off.
Funny how that works. I'm not speculating, but Ball looks a little gimpy.
He does.
In the second
half.
half.
The same.
Great job by Battaglia.
He stays on though. Ball on one leg. The stick check from behind. A little frenetic right now here. Ball on the ground. And the officials will stop proceedings.
The Ball looks like he's cramping or something. How about that GB by Battaglia?
Dog lacrosse training founded by lifelong friends and former college teammates Brendan Homeyer and Quentin Germain. It's built for AA level players ready to train like the best. Experience intense positional work, fast-paced drills, and live reps that mirror a true college practice. Dog is where grit meets growth. Follow us on Instagram to stay locked in with all updates and announcements. Since 1989, Arena Graphics have been a leader in producing the finest custom screen printed and embroidered uniforms and apparel. Specializing in serving schools, clubs, small businesses, or large corporations, Arena Graphics can help you promote your image on wearable apparel and other promotional products. Come visit us at our newly renovated showroom at 52 Main Street in Port Washington to view our extensive product line and meet with one of our friendly sales reps. Ask us about setting up a team or business web store for easy ordering and user-friendly fundraising options. If you're in a bind, we offer 2-day custom t-shirt rush service as well. For more information, visit arenagraphicsny.com. Arena Graphics, your gear starts here.
Who's going to order it, right? You're going to get the championship shirts ready, Arena Graphics. Is it going to be Chaminade or St. Anthony's?
Well, we said at the open as Gillett is trying to get inside on Bramoff. What a great matchup that is. Going low, and Rappaport with the save, and a big save at that for St. Anthony's.
Huge save, right? Not all saves are created equal. That's a big one. 4 minutes to go. Way to get down low and smother that.
Here's Gary Merrill, the explosion. Merrill checks the rear view. Merrill attacks, slashed, flag is thrown. And we'll see what this penalty is. Discussion among what is a really good officiating crew today. We mentioned it before, Mike McCloskey, Mike Herold, and Pete Casper. And now the all-important call. So 1 minute cross-check.
Merrill's got to adjust his helmet. How about that save, right? You read Dog Graphics, right? What a dog save. Future Greyhound. What a huge stop by him.
So here we go, man up for St. Anthony's for a minute. They're up 2 goals.
They shut off Merrill last time. Got a shot by Ronayne. I think you're okay with that if you're Chaminade. Here we go, shut off time. Conley.
But I like what Merrill is doing here, right? He's going to get to that high crease area. Maybe cause a little traffic for Walsh. And now they move quickly. Johnston. Rooney. Crowd on this side, the Chaminade faithful getting loud.
Yeah, St. A's not in a hurry. They're not going to force it.
We're even now. That's fine for St. Anthony's. They've got 13 on the shot clock. Here comes Rooney trying to get GLE. Rooney! Rooney!
Oh, Danny boy. No slider coming. Go bury it. Have a day, future Maryland Terrapins, Rooney and Harrigan. Uses this speed, man. He's fast. Goes lefty, little S dodge. Gets back to his right hand. Buries it. Little celly. Speed kills, baby.
Yeah, the speed continued on the celly. I thought he was running out to Hempstead Turnpike there.
Yeah, run into Howdy Myers Pavilion.
Huge goal, and again, we take a look at the face-off X. Ball is out there. We know that he's not 100%.
You know, we keep talking about, St. Anthony's. It's like this junior class is really good. From Harrigan to Rappaport to Rooney.
D'Agostino got the ground ball. Now it's a loose ball. Look at Balsamo coming away with it.
Got to step up. Got to lean on your big guys. Balsamo, Gillis, Cutton, Lynch. It's go time.
Here's Gillis. Spins.
Great job just playing his hands. Not trying to take it away, Bramoff. Just trying to be a nuisance.
Cutton from X. Gets it to Atwell. He's got a goal on this game.
Yeah, Cutton's got 4, but they really slowed him down in the second half.
7 different Flyers have scored. That one, I think it was knocked down in front.
Who else? Kelton, the senior.
Eating it. And now here comes Bramoff.
He's been banged up, but no way he was missing this game.
To Johnston.
Bramoff helps the clear. Under 2.
And now you play the numbers game if you're St. Anthony's, right? And you wonder at what point does Walsh come out of his cage?
You're going to have to right away.
Well, the answer is now.
Yeah, you can't mess around. Look for maybe a timeout.
Here's Johnston.
You know, the face-off advantage is so big for Chaminade, you almost don't want to shoot.
Ruddy. The thing about this St. Anthony's team, that's Ronayne with it. You've got a lot of guys who can run around for a while, including this guy who did a lot of that in the football season as the QB.
Just a lot of defense by Chaminade in the second half.
Here's Ruddy inside the final minute of regulation.
St. Anthony's faithful are on their feet.
Ruddy. 8 on the shot clock, loses the ball.
Oh,
GB picked up, that's a foul, and the finish in front by Harrigan.
How about an 8-point afternoon for Dylan Harrigan? Back-to-back. Oh, you see Trebasi, got the flag on that, flipping the stick, but Rooney, terp-to-terp action. Turtle power.
4 and 4 for Dylan Harrigan.
Just a dominant second half. Hats off to the coaching staff, the goalie change. Hats off to Robbie Johnson for giving it a go. How about the goal by Paulie Lenegro? Man, what an outstanding game for St. Anthony's.
And how about their crowd on the other side? Man, they are jacked. There's a blackout on that far sideline.
Momentum is such a crazy thing. St. Anthony's got it and just could not change the momentum if you were Chaminade.
Chaminade had it in the second quarter. And there's Bramoff again.
Yeah, the Energizer Bunny.
Good look there at that crowd across the way. Chaminade came in as the favorites.
People doubted them, right? They doubted them. You were looking up stats. We were looking up stats, losing games in a row, went on a 4-game heater, and saved their best for last today at Stewart.
Yeah, what a bad season they had, right? No. How about a 6th consecutive Catholic League championship for these Friars?
Man, those kids deserve that.
There were questions abound when they lost 3 consecutive games in the regular season. And Keith Weiserick They circled the wagons after that win over Lawrenceville and said 95% of the teams in the country would die to have a season like you guys have. Stick to your guns. Good things will happen.
Sometimes in a season, adversity and losing's good, right? You learn a lot about your team. Your back's against the wall. Kids step up. You know, Chaminade, not to say anything, but you win 13 in a row, right? You're feeling really good about yourself. Haven't had much adversity. And today, I was concerned, 12 days off. Is that going to be a good or a bad thing for St. Anthony's? It was an absolute huge thing. They got healthy. Players stepped up. What a second half.
You got the coaches in the laboratory figuring all the different ways to manage the face-off X, to get Robbie Johnson healthy again, to figure out maybe we'll go 2 goalies, right? Split them.
Gio Massaro on the spot, man. Couldn't guard him if you tried today.
And what a moment for these Friars. We'll take a break before the trophy presentation, and then we'll have the Jared Beschel and Associates post-game show when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash! What a way to end the third quarter.
Look at this. Merrill. No slide. No problem. Gary Merrill goes top corner.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Today's NSCH SAA Championship game is sponsored in part by Chief Graphics, by Face Off Academy, by Arena Graphics, by Dog Lacrosse Training, by Kinfalk Corner Market, and by the Breakout Goaltending Group.
Back here at Stewart Stadium, time now for the Jared Beschel and Associates post-game show. Jared Beschel and Associates law firm specializes in all aspects of commercial and residential real estate transactions, from New York City to Montauk. If you're looking to speak with a real estate attorney regarding your next real estate transaction, contact Jared Beschel at 516-490-1200 or email jbeschel@beschellaw.com. One of the nation's leading 1031 qualified intermediaries, 1031 Asset Exchange Services provides expert like-kind exchange guidance for all of your real estate transactional needs. Give us a call at 877-313-0495 if you are thinking of selling an investment property and would like to defer paying taxes on the profit gains. Contact 1031 Asset Exchange Services to discuss and structure a tax-deferred investment opportunity. JT Rizal Lighting has been the premier commercial lighting, controls, and project management distributors in the New York City metropolitan area for the past 40 years. We drive client success for building owners, construction managers, general and electrical contractors. JT Rizal Lighting in Plainview.
That second half for St. Anthony's was lit.
Yes. JT lighting, perhaps even part of that, as you see the huddle there for St. Anthony's. I think if you were one of those out there who thought maybe, who slept a little bit on these Friars, right? Shame on you, because these guys stepped up in the biggest game of the season and delivered a championship performance. And now you see part of the sportsmanship as the Friars clapping it up for their rivals, the Flyers of Chaminade, on the other side of midfield. So now the individual player plaques. You see St. Anthony's athletic director, Joe Minucci, handing them out.
Mark McDonald had a day. Brody Reichert. How about Chris Inzerillo? How good were you, Gordon Balsamo, today?
And there was our first half goalie, Dennis Brady.
Great senior season by him.
Yep, he'll head off to Lynn.
Number 10, Aiden O'Connell. Number 11,
some Friars. Ramoff, what a beast he has been.
Charles Cacciabauda.
It hasn't been 100% all year, but he doesn't feel a thing right now, I'm sure.
Number 14, all.
You could say the same about Dylan. Probably the Nigro, a big goal in this one.
Number 16, Gary
Bell. What a moment.
How do you want to walk off if you're a senior?
Absolutely.
Number 18,
Sorrow, a huge game in his last day with the Friars.
Number 20, Dylan Rappaport.
How about Rappaport? Speaking of Rappaport, time now for the breakout goaltending. Save of the game. Save of the game brought to you by Breakout Goaltending Group, Long Island's longest running goalie exclusive training program, serving boys and girls elementary through college age all year round since 2004. Today's breakout save of the game winner receives a certificate good for one complimentary lesson with Long Island's finest, Breakout Goaltending Group. Visit them online at breakoutgoaltending.com. Brian Soper, take it away.
Always got to stay ready. Coach Weiser called 20's number. Gillis. There's Balsamo first. Boom. I'll take that. No problem. By Rappaport. Unbelievable stop.
We're not done yet.
6 saves in the second half. Watch this one on Gillis. He was looking to 2-goal game at that point. Eats it down low, gets it in his stick, pitches the outlet. How good was 2-0 for St. Anthony's? Unbelievable job. Way to be ready, kid. Well-deserved breakout saves of the game. Congratulations on your championship.
Yeah, that is plural for Dylan Rappaport. It's a great job for the junior from Rockville Center. Hey, maybe Kinfolk will get a nice sandwich named after Rappaport.
Yeah, extra
Rappaport wrap.
Extra spicy. Yeah, you know, going to Loyola for a reason. One of the more highly touted. How about those two, right? Walsh battling 2 juniors, 2 of the best in the country. Rappaport, 6 saves, stepping in the second half. Sparked the run.
Number 47, Dylan Sordo. Number 48, Henry.
Yeah, wait till they call out 89.
Number 50,
8 points on the day for Dylan Harrigan.
Number 55, James Trevino.
And that's part of also the story for this St. Anthony. Like, you're not looking ahead too much, right? But what Chaminade had in their favor, guess what? St. Anthony's will have next year, right? You got Rooney, Harrigan, Cacciabauda. Johnston, all these guys are back.
Atkinson,
Yeah.
Maine, Bramoff still a junior. McHugh had a nice tip on the man down today. He's back. Rappaport in the cage. It's crazy how this it keeps flipping these teams.
And Gio Massaro, the MVP of the NSCHSAA AAA final as a senior. How about that? How about that to walk it off?
Great call. Great pick. It was easy to look at the 8 points by Harrigan, but Massaro was kind of that X factor. They don't win today if it wasn't for Gio Massaro, the senior going to St. Bonnie.
And for the 6th consecutive time in the 21st time overall, the Friars of St. Anthony's, they lift up that plaque and they celebrate yet another Catholic League trophy. What a moment. Of course, they'll also take a nice picture that they'll no doubt remember. And for Chaminade, listen, 14-2 is a hell of a season, right? These guys, they need to hang their heads high. What a year that these Flyers had.
Unbelievable, right? And they have a lot of firepower coming back as well. Walsh, you got Balsamo and Gillis back for another spin. Just a great season. Unfortunately, has to end like this. One bad half really, does not signify the season, but well deserved. St. Anthony, Chaminade didn't give it to them, right? Chaminade, St. Anthony's grabbed it from them and just did not stop and pedal to the metal.
And now the Friars will go to the opposite sideline where they will celebrate a moment with their friends and family. A blackout for the St. Anthony's faithful. And what a moment for a lot of those parents, right? They brought their sons to lacrosse practice and tryouts and summer league games all over the place. And now they get to watch their boys win another championship.
Yeah, you can't go through a season like that if you're St. Anthony's without senior leadership. You saw Massaro step up, Gary Merrill. What can you say about his career? Alex Ruddy stepped up huge when they needed them, when they needed him. Mike Kelton ate that shot. Inzerillo, a senior. Dennis Brady. Kudos. Right? Yes, you had new, firepower that was a junior class, but the seniors really, really got it done for St. Anthony's.
Yeah, what a moment for the Friars and their fan base as well, as they'll take some pictures. And we will endeavor to get, I think, the MVP, right? Gio Massaro. After some of these pictures are taken, it's all part, of course, of the Jared Beschel and Associates post-game show. In a couple days' time, some of the best teams collegiately will step on this field and try to make their way to championship weekend up in Foxborough.
Yeah, we have a great view right now. We got the H, we got the parents, we got the St. Anthony's team in front of the NCAA Division I Men's Lacrosse Championship. So many of these young men will go on and hopefully play in that tournament. And there's so many St. Anthony's players currently playing. How about Leo, right? Going to be on this turf in a couple of days.
All the signage, right? I mean, it's a great stadium anyway, but all the NCAA quarterfinal signage, man, it just makes it even more special out here. All right, after some of that celebration, we're just about set here for our post-game interview. We'll send it to Jared.
Give me the goalie.
Valuzzi with a couple of victorious Friars.
Gio, we'll start off with you. You had one of the best games of your career on the biggest stage. How does it feel to get the job done and be a champion?
We'll be able to do it without the boys. It was a great win. Overall, great effort. I mean, it's just what we do. Fire away.
And Rappaport, I mean, Chaminade, 10 goals in the first half. You come in kind of cold in the second half, but only allowed 2 goals against. I mean, what was going through your head when you got out there?
I don't know. I was very nervous at first. Got a lot of kids help me, bring me up, and I just pull out the win. Got a lot of energy from our defense, Ethan Bramoff and Chris. They helped me keep my head up and just through the win. It was a great win for the boys.
And Gary, you guys were trailing at the half, but what a special third quarter you guys had. What were some of the adjustments you made, and what was the key to come out on top?
We just knew we had to fight a lot harder on the ground balls, and our D-middies and our holes and our face-off guys were busting their ass the whole time, diving all around the field for ground balls. I'm really proud of my team.
Congratulations, fellas. Go celebrate your teammates.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Jared. And what a moment it is for these Friars. What a game we had as well. It was, as advertised, right? A game of runs. Chaminade gave it their best shot. They opened up a big lead in the second quarter, courtesy of a 4-0 run. They made it 10-6. But these Friars, they'll have that third quarter will go down in legacy. The way they were able to fight back, take control of this game, and win that hardware.
That third quarter is something you just put on loop right in the locker room. We need a TV. We need to be looped constantly to show how momentum, how you play for each other, how when you get your opportunity, you're ready. Unbelievable job by the St. Anthony's Friars.
What a great look there. Pictures that these guys will remember for a lifetime. But it started, Soap, with a little Chaminade magic. Cutting to the cage. Lynch.
Come on now.
The twister. And then Big Gar. Merrill goes up high. Paulie Lanigro with the face-off goal, and it's time to celebrate with the boys. St. Anthony's, for the 6th consecutive time and the 21st time overall, they win the NSCHSAA AAA title. For Ben Turchin, our executive producer, Chris Sweeney, our technical director, Becca Kazaks, our associate director. For Jared Veluzzi on the sidelines, how about Tony DeMasso, Ron Pierre, Jeff Damo, and Kevin Catalanato. What incredible moving images they brought to you. For my partner, Brian Soper, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Stewart Stadium. And we look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports